do that with your clothes on, okay? And then I don't want to put that all on your face, so that's another reason that you would have like a towel at the end of your bed. So now what I'm about to do is start with the pre-cleanse. I apply the pre-cleanse to what?
Remove all the makeup.
Dry skin.
Oh.
I always apply for dry skin first. Sometimes, like she's dry, her skin will start soaking up, so you can go definitely hit it with like a dab. Anything to keep that skin from dragging, okay? So we are a partnership school with Dermalogica, so they have what's called a double cleanse routine. So that's what I'm gonna start with. This is my spreading movement. That's me cuffing the chin, scissoring the mouth, in between the eyes, 1, middle of the forehead, 2, at the hairline, 3, back around the temples. That's 1 time. So I'm gonna come back up, cuff the chin, scissor the mouth, in between the eyes, over the brow bone, 1, middle of the forehead, 2, hairline, 3. This is my last time. Cuff the chin, scissor the mouth, in between the eyes, 1, middle of the forehead, 2, 3.
I should make your
Down. Right.
I couldn't.
This is what's called the roll pat.
No, you're
I
fine.
do that across the décolleté, come up behind the ears, do that. It's a video, so you don't have to worry about writing it down. That's 2, going back across. That's 3, so then I come up, both my thumbs are on her jawbone, up under here where the lymph is. I'm pushing the lymph to the drainage point, which is the ear. Slide back across.
I have 2 appointments coming in tomorrow
Okay.
for this class that we're gonna do.
One cancel.
Huh.
Oh, what you mean?
No, tomorrow. So I'll book 2 people up here
Okay.
to take them. So, any takers? It's like a combo.
Who hasn't had somebody yet? Okay, we'll take Judy. And have you had somebody? Okay, 2.
Okay.
Okay, so now I'm placing the
Jenna.
Jenna.
over the mouth, outside cheek cleanse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Swivel my hand around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inside cheek cleanse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. My fingers go up because you don't want to, if somebody's claustrophobic, you don't want to feel like you're pinching a nose. So I'm going to cleanse one side of the nose at a time. Pop back over on the other side, cleanse that side. Over the tip of the nose, up between the eyes. That's my first cleanse. First temples and release. But remember, we need to emulsify our pre-cleanse. So I'm going to go back, hit the water up. I don't have to do the routine. This is what it looks like when you're emulsifying it, that milky white look. And all the little areas that I touch. Just emulsify it everywhere. Her needs the hairs. Her hair go all the way. You gonna chuck yourself at night, man. It'll be wrapped around your neck.
I braid it.
Okay. Since I touched that, multiple people touched that. They ain't really that hot yet, Christina.
That's fine.
I had to make them before you got here. I just put a little pressure. Up here, pull it around, pull. Just make sure you leave room for them to breathe.
Did you put the calming
Mm-hmm.
stuff in it?
Smells good, right?
Yeah.
And I'll explain that in a minute because they're looking like one. Remember you went up here, so just want to get every area that you touch pretty much clean. So she's asking me about the common botanical mixture. You can add this to your steamer or to your towels. And basically it's just a water soluble formula infused with hydroessential oils that calm and soothe irritated skin. Okay? So now this I'm going to use is what's called the Skin Resurfacing Cleanser. This has a lactic acid in it, but it's not in high concentrations. It's probably like 8%. So basically that means that this is one of a kind where it has a cleanser with an exfoliant built in it already. Now it's not enough that I can't, in my treatment room, use this as a part of the facial, you know. So, and this is also a retail product, so if they bought the kit and this is in there, you will let them know that your cleanser already has an exfoliant in it, okay? Anytime you see these colors, like the purple, that means that it's a anti-aging product. Any products that I warm up, I want to definitely do it away from the client's face because you don't want it dripping all in the hair and stuff. And you know, woo. So you can use your steamer twice, or either or. You can use it with your second cleanse, or you can use it with your exfoliant. Okay. So when I am using my steamer, I want to make sure that it's aiming towards the chin. Once it hits the chin, it separates and covers kind of like the whole face. Check with your client, because sometimes people might be asthmatic, so you definitely don't want to put it too far up in their face and make it feel like you're suffocating them. Okay? That's kind of thick too. Has a nice smell to it.
Smells like cloves or something.
This thing is broke, but we're gonna keep it moving. How you feeling it? That's what I figured. I'm trying to move some stuff around. Good shit. Shoot. Y'all know what I was really gonna say. Can you pull that cord back, please? So I'm not getting it. Yeah, just lift it. Okay. There we go.
Hey.
Hey. Again, I'm going to start with my spray movement. Up the chin, scissor them out, and between the eyes, 1, 2, 3. I do this 3 times. This is what your spray movement is. And I go again into my low pat. Practice this 3 times. And I glide back, start it again. This is me draining that lymph, so if somebody's sick, this is a good thing to hit them up with. Because you fixing that. And you know we have the lymph nodes on here, and you always know you're sick because it starts to swell. Through the chin, over the mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Swell it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inside cheek cleanse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Lift my fingers, cleanse one side at a time. Jump back over to the other side. Cleanse the nose. Up between. Press. Release. I'm gonna leave it on and then get the hot towel.
You didn't add water to this?
You need to. But if it starts, any product that starts to dry up, you always want to go ahead and add your water to it. But her skin, then you get this one.
Probably moisturizing. The Skin Script moisturizer.
That just feels so good
Mm-hmm.
when somebody puts something hot on you and kind of like press it into the skin. Be careful with the pressure with these towels because y'all know sometimes they have the tendency to be rough, right? Not you being rough, but the towels kind of are rough.
She was here, and it's a foot treatment.
Now her favorite.
So hopefully we can get,
Yeah.
her favorite. And I was hoping she was going to get the cherry pie. I said it on video, but you gotta tell them later what that really means. I just thought about that. Okie dokie. Have to turn this off. To the side.
how long you been going?
I just really, this is my second cleanse.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna cover her eyes. You see these gloves? They're like Spider-Man or something. Alright. Now it's time for my skin analysis. You gotta be careful with these, because they will crack somebody in the head real quick.
Yeah, please don't.
I'll try not to. You been picking with some on your nose?
Yeah, yesterday.
Mhm.
And my chest. Look how bad it is.
I see it.
It hurts.
You can always tell when somebody getting picked. It's the truth sound.
How?
Gonna look
Red.
red, irritated. And you use your fingernails, do you?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't find my Pomodoro marker.
Yep.
Boom! Right staring that back at you.
It is.
Always make sure you are covering your client's eyes when you put that light on the face. Because sometimes they are sensitive and it will bother them. So to avoid it all, just cover the eyes. Alright, so this is what I want to show you guys. And, you don't have to trick me. You tried. So this is what's called the face mapping sheet. Did I explain this to you guys already?
You gave it to us though.
Okay, so on here is a key. So I'm gonna go through real quick, so try to keep up. You have a B, which equals breakout activity. So that means that not necessarily every time that a client has to have an open or closed comedone. Sometimes it could just be a papilla or pustule. That is a sign of breakout activity, okay? Sometimes it's just beginning where you feel they're raising the skin, but it hasn't come to surface yet. Sometimes it don't have to come to surface and you can still extract it, but anything on the lines of that is what's considered breakout activity. And you'll write a B. So how I normally do, I do this as I'm giving the skin analysis. Therefore, I'm keeping up with what's going on with my client's skin. What if I put something down? Helps with retailing, because on here, normally in a normal place, you would have all this to retail your client, okay? So basically, I would go over these things with her in the skin analysis and mark out what I use or what I recommend she should be using for purchase, okay? Because again, we know that if they're not using or taking care of the skin at home, you send them back to doing what they was doing, so their skin's never gonna get better. And the reason they're coming to you is to improve it.
I'm sorry. My question is Dermalogica. Do one of these come with all like the?
They've updated. They got like smaller ones and different stuff like that. But if you were ordering product from them, they normally pack it up with these kind of things in it.
Any skincare line will?
Yeah, well, Dermalogica does. I can't speak on all the skincare lines.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so if I seen something here, in whatever section, I would put just the letter so I'll know what to tell them. So you go through, C equals comedone, whether it's open or closed. D equals a dilated capillary. Does everybody know what that is? Intelligent stage of dilated capillary? It's like broken blood vessels. So it looks like the little squiggly red things that you would see on your client's skin. DH means dehydration. Then you have the M for milia. That's that hard acne that you have to lance to get out because it's too hard. It's not going to come through the pores, period. So then you have P, which means pigmentation, any kind, whether it's hyper or hypo. Then you have FL, which stands for fine lines, DL, deep lines, and S is for your sensitivity or redness. Got that? Okay, so when giving the skin analysis, you definitely want to do your eyes, your hands, or your eyes are your hands are your eyes, whatever. You get what I'm saying? So you can't just be looking. You have to touch and feel that skin, ladies. Make sure we are feeling, because how you gonna know if somebody got breakout that you don't see if you're not ever touching? Okay? You can look up on Ludus real quick. Look and see if she has any milia, because you normally find that in the eye or the cheek area. She has larger pores in her nose area. She has a couple of little sunspots, a couple of redness in her cheeks. She's forming like some dilated capillaries, so I won't come take a look since you've never seen them. She does have breakout on her nose, and she has a little, and we can classify any sunspots like pigmentation because that's really what it is. So on this side, I see the P, but here's you see the little red swigglies in her skin? That's not full blown yet, but you know, as she ages, it can become. You don't see it? See like the little swiggles?
Oh, yeah.
They're very faint though.
That's what I'm saying. It could form. So another thing you want to be looking for that it does not specify on here. Let me pull this up. Somebody just hold this for me. Okay, so I can get in there with my hands. All right. And this is why I clean stuff before I use it. You know, most people don't, what you should be cleaning it. So now I want to, this is me checking her elasticity, seeing if she had that bounce back. Does she have the bounce back, y'all? All right. So a lot of times as you age, you lose elasticity, so your jaws drag a little bit. You know what I mean? Also, too, you want to check. She's very dry. You don't see any oil secretions coming up, period. So I have been on her since day one to drink more water. She's a little hard-headed.
How do you tell if
You can feel you can feel the dryness, and the texture of the skin is like super, super dry. So I would put DH for dehydration. Pigmentation over here, breakout on the nose, and look at her lips, look crusty.
Okay.
Just calling you
This is
out.
why I don't like doing it.
She has a
My
little bit of
self-esteem goes down.
congestion. Congestion in the skin. Go down to her chin. Y'all see the little, look through the mag lamp, please. Y'all see the little white areas?
Oh, I hate that.
The little white, look like little dots?
Yeah.
That's congestion.
You give me too much credit for my height. Oh, I was trying to get those out this morning. I got some too.
That ain't
So don't
necessarily
feel
a
bad.
comedone, because you know a comedone is a white head or a black head, but it's just congestion. And so if she were to use some like skin refining mask and stuff, that'll tighten up those pores and keep that excess stuff from comedogenic product from getting in. Make sense? Okay. I always look at their ears too, because sometimes people have breakout in their ears.
Inside
She has
the
breakout
ear
right here,
or on the ear?
and sometimes it'll be inside the ear.
Oh, okay.
Couple of macules I see. Need a chin wax. And this is, and I say this because we all in the business to learn. So therefore, if I see this before I put anything on her skin, like any kind of exfoliant, I would know that, hey, it looks like that you have a few hairs in your chin. We offer chin waxing services. Do you mind getting that taken care of today? You client.
Oh, yes.
So, are you really gonna get it done today?
I'm gonna have Karen do it.
Okay, so then that tells me not to exfoliate in this area. So to make sure I don't get exfoliate in the area, I will put a little colloidal just to keep that area free and clear. Colloidal
The
or
mask.
conductive. It's okay. So you guys have conductive in your kits, but that's like I said, it's the old version, the new version of colloidal, but on steroids. It's like much improved, and that's what Dermalogica is known for doing. They'll take a product in the lab and remix it, make it 10 times better, and probably change the name, but it's pretty much like the same thing. So when you don't see something, just know that it came out of something else, probably better. They just keep their brain going like that. Okay, so you
Wait,
otherwise.
dilated capillary, because I missed it.
Oh, I said I was giving you too much credit. All right, so here. You see those little swigglies? They're starting to form. They're faint, but it would look like this.
What should I do for that?
Just keep stay heavy on your moisturizer and avoid harsh product use. Okay. Those are like I said, just broken little vessels. Okay, so I would move on to my exfoliant, and then you always exfoliate and then extract, right? So then now that I'm done with this, it's gonna have her name, who it's for, who gave it, and then it's 2 copies. It's a light blue back, and this is the top of it. You can keep one for their records and send one home with them. So what if they couldn't afford it today? And then she's like, well, what did she tell me I needed to be using? She can refer back to this and I'll have all the information on there. Okay? Or if she had questions, she can reach you like that. Because your name would be on here. Okay? And I want you guys to be used to, like when starting this client, start using it with your clients. It's too many times people come in and people are just putting stuff on their face and not explaining to them thoroughly what they need to be using. So today, I have choices with my exfoliant. So speaking of, I'm about to exfoliate her. I have choices with this aging line. This is the one that comes in you guys' kit, okay? This is the power exfoliant, multivitamin, hence the name multivitamin. I mean, everything on the aging line has the multivitamins in it, okay? And it's deeper than this, way deeper than what you see. Anyways, you can take this top off, right? You don't really need a whole vial for a client. So you take it off, and then when you're done, you can flip it and put it back on and save half of it. Okay? So, she is a little on the dehydrated side, but not so much to where I feel like I could use this. So this is learning how to customize and make choices. This one is like let me go into detail real quick before I skip on. This, you would put colloidal, if I was using this on her, I would put colloidal gel here, or the conductive, in the corners of her eyes, in the corners of her nose, because product, liquid, this is like a 23%, and 25%. And it could seep down in the nose, so you want to put colloidal gel here. And then I'm going to put something on them lips anyway. So you can put it over the mouth or just make a border around the mouth. Okay? So I am going to use the Daily Superfoliant. It's like a charcoal mask. It's just like your Daily Microfoliant, but it has a more silkier feel to it. That makes sense? So this is what we're going to use on her today. Because as you look at her, she has a nice little glare to her. So a lot of times when you see dehydration in the skin, you're going to see like flaky, rough, dry patches. Now in the skin, her texture is a little rough because she ain't using the good stuff at home. You know what I'm saying? And she's not drinking enough water. You got to lubricate the inside for it to manifest outward, okay? Starts with inside. So with this, with any product, let me just say this. Less is more. These products are very expensive. If anybody was looking up any type of dermatology, you know that it runs high. So a little goes
I
a
was just
long
looking
way.
out there behind the counter.
The little goes a very, very long way. Okay? So, I see how you guys use your Daily Micro. I'm going to change the game for y'all today. Okay? This is how I want to see you guys using it. From now on, just a dusting. I want y'all to check this color out. Ooh, it went up in my nose.
Man, if I would have sat down, I would have bitten it.
See, I told you. Every
Like I
time.
said, a little goes a long way. That's why I feel like I recommend that all of you should have your fan brushes. If you don't have fan brushes, you get the silicone one. Purchase them. Because it's more professional, especially when you get in the rub. You don't really want to be using your hands to put on everything. You want to keep it nice and sanitary and clean. And sometimes people just don't want, you just slapping stuff all over their face with your hands. They want to feel like if I'm going to be paying you $100 to do a facial, I want the professional portion of it. Just a little water. It's hard. I wish you can order these off of Amazon and use them as your water bottles instead of having to dip your hand in there. It's only like $12, if that. Maybe $7. I don't know. I can't remember what I looked up. But because she said that she is going to get a chin wax, then I'm going to go ahead and cover that chin. Now, I can't put this on the back of my hand because I don't need a whole brush to just put it up right here just to make sure I don't exfoliate this part out. Okay. Now, here's the game changer. Add my water. I'm going to whip it. This is what your Daily Micro does too. Same thing. Look at that. It's still going to do its job effectively without it. Have you noticed when you put it in your hands, it be gritty and it dries and look pasty and stuff on the skin and it's 10 times harder to get off?
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is the wave of the future. It ain't runny, it ain't thick, it ain't gritty. So you can use your Daily Micro like that as well. So again, in this line you have choices. This is your thermofoliant, the multivitamin thermofoliant. It's kind of heat activated. Once you put water on it, it starts to heat up. So I'm going to allow you to take this off and put some on your fingers and then get a little bit of water and rub it in so you can see it, the effects for yourself.
That's thick.
It is. Smells good too. So if you put a little muscle in it, it just gets thicker and thicker and thicker.
Wow.
But you have to get the balance of how much water to add to it too. But go home and I challenge you to do that with your Daily Micro. Does the exact same thing. Now to get that heat to come, you gotta add a little water to it. Ooh. Feel that?
Oh, that's nice.
I'm gonna go ahead and paint her up real quick.
Do we have this in our kit? The thermofoliant?
I don't think so. That's the line. Ain't that the anti-aging line?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. The this one,
No.
the thermofoliant, the multivitamin thermofoliant. Y'all heard on this part of the chin, just the bottom, because that's really what it hurts. So now that I've applied this is what's called anything that's dry and manual. That means you have to move it around, okay? So I don't want to see you just put it on the face, letting it sit. That's not how that works. A manual exfoliant, you always have to move it around, okay? So now, you work it in. I'm doing the bottom of her chin, but not under where she's going to be waxed at. And I can skip down to her décolleté too. So the good thing is I got enough foam to hit her décolleté as well, where she's been picking. So the biggest thing for me is that it's way too many times women are all about the face And they don't do nothing to the neck and the décolleté, and really that's the first area you start showing signs of aging because you're not taking care of it. You just all worried about your little face. Don't forget you want to get over the mouth too. I'm coming in right here where she's really dry. And if it starts to feel dry, just add a little water to it. This is what I'm saying, when y'all had the test out, y'all should have had the wax a separate day from, yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm believing that can really lift that skin for that. I'm gonna go on her neck too, because she ain't gonna get her neck waxed. Just that bottom part with your hair. And I'm gonna work it in for a little bit. She's all dry. Here's the thing. Now that I'm done with that, take it and put it on your finger. Everybody pass it around for me, please. See how silky it is as opposed to how dry the daily is? I really want to get here because of your congestion, okay? I'm gonna work that in right here. But it's choices. So the thicker the skin and the rough of the texture, I would use the thermopholium. If they got like a lot of dehydration and stuff, like massive, I would use the powerful exfoliant. This one is kind of a bridge between the two. All right. So I've worked it in. Now I'm going to
Jazz, I only got about like a couple more minutes left.
What was the one that you ended up using called?
Huh?
What was the one that you ended up using called?
Superfoliant.
So it's daily, super,
Thermal.
thermal. And then the last one that was in the little tubes was
The multivitamin, that's the one you have in your kit. The thing with that one is you definitely want to double cleanse it off because it's a chemical exfoliant. It has active ingredients. So if you don't get it off thoroughly, so your first cleanse will be with the resurfacing cleanser, but when you double cleanse it off, you use your special cleansing gel, pre-cleansing special cleansing gel, okay?
Okay.
So that's how you use that at home. Because people can create burns on the skin if it's left on the skin. It'll keep working because of the active ingredients.